Diaphragmatic breathing is a breathing technique where we're using the diaphragm muscle up here to think about expansion outward to help us to connect with our pelvic floor and our deep core system. So not just belly breathing here, but actually thinking about breathing 360 degrees outward around your rib cage. So take your hands, one over your pelvis, one here at the lowest part of your rib cage. And I want you to start by taking a nice big inhale and thinking about really trying to expand east and west as you breathe into your abdominal cavity. So as I inhale, my rib cage is expanding. I'm thinking about breathing into the back of my rib cage, and I'm creating space throughout. As I exhale, I want you to think about lifting from the bottom towards the top of your rib cage to expel that air outward and feeling that wrap of your abdominals, lower abdominals, middle abdominals, and the upper abdominal connection. So you're going to inhale, expansion, exhale, thinking about that connection from the pelvis up towards the ribs. It's important to make sure that you're not just exhaling and crunching through the top part and leaving this bottom area without having that help you through the process. So make sure that you're connecting bottom to top as you breathe out. And that breath outward, imagine like you're trying to blow candles out. So there is a little bit of force, not just a passive exhale. The other piece I want you to think about is connecting your pelvic floor connection with this movement, so that Kegel. So as you inhale, that pelvic floor is relaxing and lengthening. And as we exhale, I want you to think about connecting that Kegel as you expel that air outward at the same time. So we're going to inhale, pelvic floor is relaxed. Exhale, connect that Kegel all the way through the abdominal connection as well. Isometric abdominal series here. First off, you want to make sure that our pelvis stays in neutral throughout the series. So take your hands here, create a triangle. You want to make sure that we're not tucked under where that triangle starts to tip this direction. We're not arched, so our triangle starts to tip down towards our feet. We want that triangle to be parallel with the floor, so we know that our pelvis is in neutral. This is where we want to shoot for throughout the entire series of the exercise. You're going to start here with your right hand and your right knee. I want you to lift them up and have them create contact with each other. In this start position, you're going to inhale first, exhale, press the hand and the knee into each other to create a connection, just to feel that activation of your abdominals here on that right side. So we're not pressing as hard as we possibly can, just to a point where you start to feel your abdominal muscles connect. You're going to press for the duration of your exhale as you breathe out, and as you inhale, you're going to release that pressure in your arm and your knee. And again, inhale first, exhale, to press, inhale, to release. Layer 2 of this, we're going to go opposite arm to knee to work our oblique connection here. So again, pelvis is in neutral throughout. You're going to take your right hand to your left knee. You're going to inhale to prepare, exhale. Start to press that knee and hand into each other to feel that diagonal connection of your abdominals. Pressing just hard enough to feel that connection, not pressing as hard as you can. You're going to inhale, release that connection, and then exhale, reconnect. And release. Breathing in quadruped, you're going to start with your hands directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips, creating a table with your body. I want you to check in and make sure that your spine is nice and long, so that we're not arched and we're not rounded. If you're unfamiliar with being able to tell where you are, an option is to take something like a block, and you can place that over your spine here at the back. So if you start to round, you're going to feel that feedback that the block moved, or if you start to arch, you'll feel how that also changes. So something block-like can be used here over your back to give you some feedback. So as I'm here, I'm going to think about my breathing, and I'm going to let that expansion of my inhale create space, and you'll feel your belly kind of start to lower down towards the mat. And as we exhale, I want you to think about drawing and lifting up and in from the bottom of your pelvis towards your rib cage to connect that core. So we're going to inhale, let that belly drop, let that pelvic floor relax. And then exhale, I'm going to pull from that Kegel, connect my Kegel upward and connect my core at the same time. So we're gonna inhale, let everything relax. Exhale, draw everything up and in. As I do this movement, nothing should change throughout my spine. So my pelvis to shoulder to my head is all staying in one nice long line. And the only thing that's changing is that connection around my center. Quadruped variation here, adding on to our breathing that we practiced previously. So we're gonna inhale here first. Exhale, you're gonna slide one leg out, reach through that heel, maintaining contact with the other 3 limbs, and I'm keeping my spine nice and long, using my block as feedback, making sure that my hip doesn't dip down or drop. And then I'm gonna exhale, connect my center to pull that knee back in. Exhale as you reach the next leg out, reaching through that heel, staying nice and level with your pelvis, and then exhale, pull that knee back into where you started.